Now whether the coal minister at various point of time did this on purpose or on ignorance is secondary. If this judgment of Runu Ghosh is properly examined, especially between para 66 and para 82, the Delhi High Court is a division bench judgment. They say it doesn't matter whether a public servant applied his mind, thought about it, calculated, then came to a conclusion and committed an act of fraud. All that it requires to be proved is that there is a loss to the exchequer or a gain to a third party. If this is proved, then it shall be criminal misconduct. It's a deeming fiction. Now, this judgment is under appeal by the persons involved in the Supreme Court. This judgment is under review by the Supreme Court. But if this judgment is taken to a logical conclusion, I am sure we will all come to a particular, very clear idea that a public servant who acts in such a way that it causes loss to a exchequer or gain to a third party, whether there is a criminal mindset or not, that person will need to be hauled for criminal misconduct under the Prevention of Corruption Act. If this judgment is made, is given by the Honorable Supreme Court, I think many people, including the Prime Minister, may have to face the music. Many people. And I only pray and wish that this judgment is being delivered by the Honorable Supreme Court, because that is the only redemption possible in this country. Otherwise, nobody will be accountable. Everybody will say this is a procedure, this is a policy, I am not responsible, you are not accountable, the minutes have been written, the minutes are there, CAG is a fool, so and so is an idiot. We will get away with this type of nonsense. Ladies and gentlemen, it requires enormous amount of awareness that needs to be created on this particular judgment, because if we are missing the bus now, and God forbid if the Supreme Court does not buy this argument and throws out the judgment of the division bench, I shudder to think what will happen to this country. Because everybody will then get away scot-free, and any loss to the government or any gain to third party will be described as a policy by the government. Because that is what we have seen in Spectrum, that is what we are seeing now in 2G. Lastly, I will close with only one thing. The Prime Minister is personally accountable as far as I am concerned, both in 2G and in CoalGate. For a simple reason, he is by default the minister in all ministries. He is not a Prime Minister and exists in vacuum. He is also a minister in every single ministry. My only prayer is that public opinion must prevail on the Prime Minister, and time for him to demit office is now. It is no saying that he is a technocrat and he is only a puppet and all these things. He only took oath of office. He was appointed as Prime Minister by the President, and he is accountable to the people of this country under the Constitution. If he does not go now, we will be yet again setting a very bad example of a person who is accountable to the people of this country going scot-free. It will be yet another bus that will be missed by these people of India. Unless we penalize top people, we cannot and we do not have a moral right in setting right corruption at 5 rupees level and 10 rupees level at the government office level. We have no moral authority to talk about this corruption. Let us be clear. Corruption is a menace. It has to be fought top to bottom, not from bottom to top. There is a one-way traffic. You have to come from the top to the bottom. Yet another 2G, I am personally convinced the Prime Minister is equally guilty. He did not take money. The money portion is entirely different. That doesn't only talk about corruption. Corruption is not taking action when you are supposed to take action. A watchman who is supposed to take action when a particular set of dacoits enter a building fails to do so, is as much guilty of dacoity as the dacoits themselves. Let us be very clear about it. I think time for Prime Minister to at least tell us what went wrong. And he cannot simply find fault with the CAG. He cannot simply shift the blame to everybody else. He has to explain to us what went wrong. And I think the barest minimum that the Prime Minister owes us is an explanation, which unfortunately he has not given till date on this particular scam. Thank you very much.